Today on Dr. Phil.
I am 64 years old and my fiancé is 34 years old.
She has a Nigerian boyfriend.
I love you, baby.
She's never met.
He calls you his fat fish, and that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm fat.
Oh my God.
Why do you think he's not a scam, and why does your family think he is a scam?
Oh, because of all the shows they've seen here with you. But I do believe him, that he's an honest and caring person.
Might it be that you're his green card, his ticket to America?
I love her with all my heart.
Holy cow. I don't believe a word you say.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life. You've never had anybody working harder to bring you to the threshold of change than right now. Well, you know, we have heard so many heartbreaking stories right here on this show of really love-starved women who have been what we call catfished. They find the love of their life online with a handsome man whose picture has been stolen from some unsuspecting stranger. Now, there are poorly written romantic letters and texts sent to these women, and hundreds, sometimes thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars mailed all over the world to these men for very dramatic reasons. Shipwrecks, pirates, disease, surgery, arrest. These men need money, and they need it right now to get to the love of their life. Take a look.
I met Terry online.
Means the whole of this loves me, baby. I need you so much.
I've sent Terry approximately $3,200.
I've sent cash to Max in cereal boxes 5 different occasions. I've sent close to $50,000.
I met Donnie on Facebook. Sometimes I can't understand him on the phone because he has a French accent. He said I was his dream woman to marry. I have probably sent about $35,000.
Chris has a way with words. He'll say, "How is my queen doing today?" Chris will make a comment like, "Mrs. Olson, I love you and I can't wait to be with you again." I sent $550,000 to Chris.
David saw my profile picture and he said, "Barbara, you are a very beautiful woman." He makes me feel very special. In the past 9 months, I have sent him about $5,000.
When I first got the email from Aaron, I thought, wow, he's way out of my league. And he said, "No, my darling, you are not out of my league." And that makes you feel, whew, I am worth something. I have given Aaron probably right at $200,000.
You're consumed with it, Kathy. Let it go.
I'm consumed with somebody that took all your money, and you called me 2 weeks ago and told me you sent him over $218,000.
I've been dating David for 3 years online. He is around 57 years old. Okay, I'm 20 years older than him. At first I questioned how a younger man could love an older woman like me, but he tells me all the time that he does. I have sent David over $76,000.
Look me in the eye and tell me you know and understand this man is a scam.
Yes.
But 64-year-old Josie says she knows the love of her life, 35-year-old Nigerian Victor, is not scamming her. Now, Josie says she wants me to prove to her reluctant family that this guy is the real deal.
I am 64 years old and my fiancé is 34 years old. My fiancé Victor lives in Nigeria.
I love you, baby.
I started talking to Victor on Facebook. Victor was living with scammers in Malaysia, but he did not want to live that life. He wanted to leave, so I paid $800 for the ticket. So Victor flew to Nigeria. Now, I speak to Victor every day.
Yeah, I was missing you.
Maybe about 5-6 times a day. Victor has not asked me for money, but I have sent him $75 here, $75 there. Altogether, I have spent about $5,000. I love him a lot. I love him more than I've ever loved anybody else. Victor and I have a lot in common. He cooks and I cook.
Love you, baby. Don't worry, I'm gonna cook for you special meal for my baby. Yeah.
He is a musician and I am a singer. Our main thing is our faith. A lot of times we pray together. Victor reminds me to take my medication. Victor reminds me to eat.
Have you eaten?
Yes, I did eat.
Okay, good.
I call him my African king, and he calls me either his tomato or fat fish. Victor has asked me to marry him, and I've already bought the ticket to go to Nigeria in February. I plan to spend 14 days in Nigeria, and I hope we get married. My friends and family don't like Victor, and people will call me stupid, but I can't fight my heart.
Love you.
Love you too. Mwah.
Okay, he calls you his fat fish. And that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
I'm fat.
And tomato.
And tomato.
Why do you think he's not a scam? And why does your family think he is a scam?
Oh, because of all the shows they've seen here with you.
Right.
You know, so. And I also want to find out myself, but I do believe him.
In a lot of the stories that we've done that have actually turned out to be scams, where the women have been catfished, you've watched that at home, sitting in your chair on the couch, shaking your head, yelling at the screen, woman, wake up, right?
Yes.
What do you say to yourself when you're watching that?
I hope I'm not that naive.
Yeah. This is different, though, in that you have actually seen him, talked to him. He hasn't stolen some male model's picture or whatever. This is the real guy.
Yeah.
As far as you know. I mean, but it's a human being you're talking to.
Yes.
You've Skyped with him or whatever.
Yes.
So you talked to him on the phone. You've looked at each other on screen and gone back and forth. Why in all of this time, how long has it been?
A year and a month or two, maybe.
Okay, you're a competent woman, and he seems like a competent guy. Why in 13 months have you not met in person?
Money.
Well, you've sent him more money than it would take to go see him. So that doesn't make sense. Why have you not gone to see him?
I did purchase a ticket several months before, and I got scared and I canceled. My family and friends were scared. They said, "Are you crazy? You're going to Nigeria." So they started putting doubt in me.
Okay, well, you guys text back and forth a lot, right?
Yes, sir.
And he talks to you a lot. He says things like, baby, this is the love of your life. The only man who is always to make you happy, who loves you unconditionally with all his heart, who calls you tomatoes. Good night, my wife. Love you, baby. He's coming on pretty strong. Good night, my wife.
We're planning to get married.
Well, good night, my wife.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're planning to get married.
That's a clue. Okay,
I call him my husband.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
So.
And the reason we both say that is because I do respect him like a husband. I don't go out. I don't date. I respect him just like if he was my husband. If I wanted to go out, I'll say, can I do this? I'll ask him.
You'll ask his permission?
Yes.
A guy in Nigeria you've never met? Well, he's not asked for money, but he has said, well, I'm poor, broke, hungry, and stuck in Malaysia. That didn't raise a red flag with you?
I guess my heart is weak.
Well, I don't know. I'm asking.
I have a weak heart. I have a weak heart, and I guess I believe people when they tell me that they need help.
You know that he has said that he has been a scammer.
He said he started to.
He told you he started to?
He wasn't, he didn't want to, but he was in a place that there were scammers.
Well, you know what else he said? He also said, right here, he says he is an open book. Right here, he is an open book, that he's willing to come clean and talk to me about anything and everything. So, that will be a real important sign, right? But if he waffles and tries to run and hide, that'll be a bad sign, right? So we can agree in advance, we'll see how he behaves.
Yes.
Now, when we come back, Josie says she's not being conned by Victor, but her family disagrees. We'll hear why they say that next.
Victor could have children, he could have a wife, he could have another girl that he's talking to.
Victor is really a stranger.
My friends and family get annoyed because I talk to Victor all the time. But they get annoyed because they're jealous that I have true love. They don't believe that Victor could be in love with me because I am an older person, because of my looks. He said that he loved me and he wanted to be with me.
Give me a break.
I sure would love to prove them wrong.
Well, 64-year-old Josie says that she met the love of her life, Victor, on Facebook. Now, sure, he's Nigerian, he's 30 years younger, and she's never physically met him, but she insists that it's true love. Her older sister, Carmen, her best friend, Angela, and her 19-year-old son, Anthony, think Josie is acting like a teenage fool. Their words, not mine. Take a look.
Because Victor talks about God and because he prays, that is how he has gotten Josie to trust him. Victor may talk about church, but that does not make him God. It's just like walking into McDonald's and calling yourself a cheeseburger.
I do believe him.
Josephine, you believe him. Anybody can talk. Have he made a voodoo on you or something? I told Josephine that she's overweight, that she's old enough to be his mom. He's too young for you.
There's other older women out there with young guys.
What the heck that guy wants with you? Don't tell me that he loves you, because I don't believe that. I think he probably wants to money, or he probably
What
wants...
money? I have no money.
Probably wants to come over here.
If my mom went to Nigeria, she could get kidnapped.
She could get raped, somebody could rob her.
They are very, very poor. They will say anything to a woman to convince them, you know, like he's doing with my sister.
Let Dr. Phil help me. If I need help...
If Dr. Phil said to you, please do not go to Nigeria, will you really, really do it?
If he tells me not to go, I will not go.
My mom always told me don't trust strangers. Just because a nice man comes up to you and says he has candy, don't fall for it. But now she's in a relationship with someone that she's never met. Victor is really a stranger.
Okay, thank all y'all for being here. Now, if you don't support this and you're afraid of it, why are you making her a wedding dress?
I love her. You know, I want to make her happy, but I'm not too, keen on what it's really for.
I asked her if he had admitted to her that he had been scamming women, and she said, no, he never said that to me. But we record all of our interviews with you, so I had them pull it up while we were on break.
Okay.
Here's what you said, quote, he admitted to having a lot of women he scammed for money through Facebook, but that he went to church to make him feel better about what he was doing.
No,
quote.
what I said...
No, that's what you said. It's recorded.
No. He said, yes, I had a lot of women, but I have never scammed any women.
Had a lot of women how?
As friends to start to scam. No, I mean, whatever they do, you know, women. Ask him.
That seems like a distinction without a difference.
He's an open book, so you ask him.
That's right. If he's honest, he'll tell us about that. Scammers have patterns, right? They're always, their money's being held up, they're in a hospital, they can't get out, and they always seem to target women that are older than them. We have a lot of women that we've talked to. I put together some photos of these women.
Holy cow.
These are some of the women that have all been catfished by men that were 25 to 30 years younger than they were. Do you fit in here? I mean, let's take a look.
Oh my God. What are you thinking?
Carmen, what do you not like about Victor? Why don't you like Victor?
I don't know the guy. I don't know. I think he's brainwash you. That's what he's doing.
You think she's vulnerable because she's just come out of a divorce?
I think that with my sister, she can be alone. She needs a man in her life.
I was not searching for a man when I started talking to Victor.
And by the way, let me clear something up, because I think this is a common misnomer, a common misunderstanding people have, is that, and you've even said this, you said you tend to pick the wrong guy.
I do.
It's not that you pick bad guys, it's that bad guys find you. These predators, these exploiters, these users, these sociopaths tend to find people with good hearts, loving hearts, and they prey upon those people. So it's not that you're on self-destruct, they tend to find you. And I'm wondering if maybe that's what's happened in your life, is that you've always given people the benefit of the doubt, always tried to be caring.
You're so correct. You're so correct.
I have an attitude about this benefit of the doubt business. I think it's insane. I think what we do is we should gather data, and then based on what we gather, we make informed opinions about who they are. And so that's why I'm wanting to look at what information we have about him. And one, we have that he's a real guy. That's good. He is who he says he is. That appears to be true. On the suspicious side, I'm stuck in Malaysia. He falls in love with you immediately. He's half your age. And I'm not saying that your life's over because you're 64? My wife is 64. I mean, you're the same age as my wife.
Well, can she lend me her body for a minute so I could look good?
Yeah, no. Look, you have a good heart, and that's what matters. But coming up, Angela says she had one shot to get on America's Got Talent, but Josie's obsession with Victor caused them to get the buzzer. And I'm going to tell you why that's significant when we come back.
Victor was giving me something that they were not giving me.
Wait a minute, sweetheart.
You think maybe they're jealous?
What he's giving you through the computer?
This is our season 13 America's Got Talent audition.
Last year, Angela and I auditioned for America's Got Talent.
Victor was calling her over and over again. And that would make her tired in the rehearsals where she was not able to focus. Woo! So when we got in front of the judges, it went horribly.
Angela was blaming me.
I believe Josie's relationship with Victor did ruin our chances of us being successful.
Well, Angela blames Josie for blowing their chances on America's Got Talent because of her obsession with a much younger Nigerian man. Now, Josie says everyone in her life disagrees with her relationship with Victor. Now, the reason that I'm focused on this is because I have a definition of normal, whether something is normal or not. Normal is something that does not interfere with healthy functioning and pursuit of goals. It's abnormal if it interferes with healthy functioning and pursuit of goals. And everybody in your life tells me that you're so obsessed with this relationship that it interferes with your relationship with your son, that it interferes with your relationship with everybody else in your life, that it even blew your chances to win $1 million on America's Got Talent. That you were so obsessed with it that it pushes everything off to the side. Is that true?
I'm always there for them. Feeding them, I have the time for them all the time. But since Victor came into my life, yeah, some of this got shot down because he was giving me something that they were not giving me.
So you think maybe they're jealous?
What do you mean?
What he's giving you through the computer?
Well, he was calling me every day. Something that you didn't do.
Wait a minute, sweetheart. I'm going to tell you something right now. I call you. You don't answer me back because I believe that you are in the phone with Victor.
There's difference between a sister's love and romantic love,
Yes,
right?
yes, thank you.
And that's the problem. She can't fill that need for you whether you answered the phone or not, whether
Right.
she called you or not.
Right.
And here's the thing that you need to understand. people do have a commonality. Our number one need is acceptance. Our number one fear is understandably rejection. And that's in all areas. So when it comes to romance and feeling like you belong to and with someone, then our number one need is acceptance. You want to be romantically accepted by someone. You want to be part of a relationship. And our number one fear is to be rejected, to not have anybody want you. That can be, to feel that way can be painful, right?
First of all, I do have to tell you this. I want to punch him in his face right now.
Why?
Because you're making sense. You're not going to listen to them because they don't have a PhD like you do. And
right. Well, plus I'm also very charming.
You are charming.
But look, and I understand, but everybody has a currency, right? And sometimes scammers can want money. But what might his currency be? Might his currency be that you're his ticket out? Might it be that you're his green card? That if he can find somebody that he can convince to marry him and that's his ticket to America?
Oh God, I want to punch him. I come to the God of truth, which is you.
Well, I'm going to get to the truth.
I know you are.
Because we're going to take a break. When we come back, we have a producer in Nigeria. So did he find him? What did he uncover? We'll talk to him next.
We're about to head to where Victor lives. Go and knock on his door.
After only talking to Victor for 5 months, Josie asked me to make her a wedding dress. I thought it was totally crazy. Josie wants me to finish the dress by February so she could go through with her plans of marrying Victor. I pray that a light bulb does come on where she does see that there is danger in this situation.
Well, Josie's Nigerian boyfriend, Victor, says he wants to prove to the world that not all Nigerians are con artists, and his love for Josie is sincere. So we sent our Nigerian journalist, Ben, to pay Victor a visit, and our camera crew was right behind him.
We're about to head to where Victor lives. It's a mostly rural community. There's a lot of farmers, and it's also an oil-rich community. But we are not here to look for oil. We're here to look for Victor. We'll go and knock on his door. Victor, my name is Ben from Dr. Phil.
Oh, you're welcome.
So, Victor, can we come in?
Yeah, you can come in.
So this is how many?
It's 2 bedrooms.
2 bedrooms.
2 bedrooms. This is 1 bedroom. This is my bathroom.
It's both toilet and bathroom?
Yeah, both toilet and bathroom.
Okay.
This is my bedroom.
Did you just move into this place?
Yes, I just moved in when I came back from Malaysia. That is going to 3 months now.
Currently, you don't have electricity?
Like 3 hours in a day.
3 hours every day?
Not every day.
In the daytime?
In the daytime. Oh, no, I'm using generator.
We've been talking to Mr. Victor, but we want to talk to his neighbors to ask them what they know. Well, how long have you known Victor?
Precisely about 1 year. He's the type that doesn't look for trouble. He's a good person.
What kind of person do you think he is?
He's a nice guy and he keeps up.
I spent 4 to 5 hours at Victor's home. We spoke to his neighbors. They affirmed that Victor does live alone. He is not married. He has no kids. He is an electrician, as he claims. He does not live lavishly. He barely has electricity. Victor lives a simple life and seems to be a genuine, well-liked person.
Well, Victor is joining us via FaceTime in Nigeria right now. How are you doing today, Victor?
I'm doing okay, sir. I'm fine.
We're just kind of interested in getting to know you a little bit. And you had indicated when we talked to you earlier that you would be an open book and just talk to us about anything we wanted to talk about, correct?
Yes, it's correct, sir.
What is your intention with Josie?
The experience that I have with Josie is all about true love. So my intention towards her is for me to make her happy and to be with her for the rest of my life, because I love her with all my heart.
Why someone twice your age?
The feelings we both share together, true love, because she's always on my mind. I love her.
Okay, now you admit to scamming women in your past, correct?
Yes, I have in my where I'm in Africa, Nigeria. I know I have a little past. I have a past in my life of relationship.
How many women have you scammed?
No, I've never scammed any woman in my life. I have never done that. I will not do that.
You just said that you used to scam women, but you don't anymore.
No, I didn't say so, sir.
You now deny having scammed women before.
No, I've never scammed a woman.
One of the things that I'm considering talking to Josie about is renouncing her citizenship and moving to Nigeria and living with you there.
Okay, yeah, I would have loved to Josie to come over, and because she's my true love, and to come and live with me in Nigeria. But Nigeria is not that safe for her. So if I would like, if it is God, make it possible for me to come and live with her in the United States, to have a better life and to be there for her, because she's a good woman and she deserves to be happy. I want to make her happy.
So you feel like you need to come to America, get a green card and come to America. That would be the ideal situation.
Yeah.
Our producer, Ben, are you there?
Hello, Dr. Phil.
I've just asked him whether or not he has been a scammer in the past. He told us at one time that he had been. Now he's telling us that he's not.
From my conversations with him, what he told me was that they were trying to basically indoctrinate him into the business, which he didn't want to be a part of them.
So, Victor, you did know scammers in Malaysia, yes or no?
Yes.
I would like for Ben to take his phone and see how many women he's got on there. Could that be possible?
Ben, let me ask you, you've been there and it sounds like that Victor's neighbors say that he's a decent guy and he doesn't look for trouble, but it sounds very much to me like he has found someone twice his age that is very vulnerable on the internet and that he is manipulating and exploiting in order to get a green card to get out of Nigeria. So what do you think being on the ground over there?
Of course, it looks more like someone who wants to get a card, to leave the country. But at the same time, you cannot say 100% that's what it is.
My attitude is if it looks like a duck, it walks like a duck, and it sounds like a duck, it's looking for a green card. So, Ben, let me ask you this. Is it safe for Josie physically? Is it safe and advisable for her to come to Nigeria?
If she is coming to Lagos, yeah, it's relatively safe. If she's going to Victor's home, she will likely maybe kidnapped, because it's a very common occurrence.
It's not advisable to go to his village?
No, it's not. I will not advise that.
Okay, Josie, do you have any questions for Ben or for Victor here?
I would like for Ben to take his phone and look at his WhatsApp and see how many women he's got on there. Could that be possible?
Yeah.
On your WhatsApp.
Ben, what are you doing?
Checking.
There is one. The first one here is Josephine.
Right.
The last message was 6:58 p.m. local time. There's another one, Every. I can't see anyone else here.
Okay, apart from the women associated with the show, he says he doesn't see any other women on there.
Maybe he erased it. Dr. Phil, can I ask him a question?
Sure.
I don't believe a word you say.
That's not a question.
Okay, whatever.
Well, Victor, I think you're changing your story from what you told us before, and I don't think you're being forthcoming, and I'm sorry that you're not. And I don't trust your motives one bit. I've heard all I need to hear. Thank you for talking to us. Ben, thank you for talking to us.
Okay, I want to say a big thank you to you, Dr. Phil.
You're very welcome. When we come back, an update from a past guest with a similar story to Josie and Victor's. Did the marriage to her Nigerian internet love last? Is she glad she did it, or does she regret it? And I'm going to be very clear about what I think's going on here and why. We'll be right back.
I flew to Nigeria. I met his family. At the end of that trip, James proposed to me, and I accepted.
You met him. You've touched him. You've held his hand. This is a real relationship.
That's right.
Well, we've just been talking to Victor, the love of Josie's life from Nigeria, and 4 years ago, we did a similar story to Josie's. Deanna was married for 6 years to a man who lived in Nigeria. She, like Josie, claimed he was the man of her dreams, but her son Jordan and her brother Dale had a very different take on her fairy tale romance. Take a look.
I met James in 2008 when I was on a family vacation. I knew right away he was Nigerian. I flew to Nigeria. I met his family. At the end of that trip, James proposed to me, and I accepted.
You met him. You've touched him. You've held his hand. This is a real relationship.
That's right. Since I've met James, I would say on the high side, I've spent $500,000.
I see Mom being James's cash cow, and he knows it.
What makes you think he's a scammer?
He has never been able to come to Canada. It's a huge red flag for me.
He couldn't get to Canada. He had a wrong gauge on his passport.
He actually has 5 passports. If you're getting scammed, you want to be my friend. But if I'm talking to somebody that's like, well, that doesn't matter, that doesn't matter, that doesn't matter, you got to pull your head out and say, I want answers to that too.
I'm not the least bit naive. I'm not the least bit insecure.
Do you have any concern of the legitimacy or motivation of this relationship that you've invested so much money in?
I have none.
Now, via Skype, from Nigeria, is Deanna's husband, James. Are the two of you legally married in Nigeria?
Yeah, we are legally married in Nigeria now.
This is the marriage certificate that you provided to us.
Yes.
It's got typos all through it. It says fathers' names. They put an M. Nigeria doesn't know how to spell license. They put an M in it. This says registrar's seal.
I know Nigeria. I know how they spell. They don't spell English how we spell. It's not how we write.
You are in possession of what I believe to be a fabricated document germane to your marriage. If that doesn't give you pause, there's something wrong with your logic. Well, we reached out to see how the relationship was going. Here's what her son Jordan had to say about this. Quote, my mom felt like she had found the person she was going to spend the rest of her life with. Our entire family tried to warn her, but she was blinded and wouldn't listen. My mom spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on trips, immigration lawyer fees, immigration specialist fees, plus she would send money for her husband and his family. She felt like it was legit because she had actually met him, married him, touched him, but it was never real. My advice for someone going through a situation similar to this is just keep planting seeds of doubt and hope that the person can figure the truth out. My mom finally saw the truth and broke it off with the Nigerian and has regrets. So that is a similar situation. You said if I told you that you shouldn't go to Nigeria, you wouldn't go. Don't go to Nigeria.
Thank you.
Don't go to Nigeria. If the man loves you, he will get the money together and he will come and see you. He's using you to get a green card, in my opinion. And here's my problem out of this whole thing that bothers me more than anything. You said, if I can just get a few good years, I'm fine with that.
I did.
You deserve better than that.
If she leaves him, he was commit suicide. That's what she told you, and you didn't say nothing to Dr. Phil.
Did he tell you that?
Yeah.
Does it seem like emotional extortion?
You are scared because of that. That guy is something else.
This is what I don't need.
Well, coming up, I'm going to tell Josie what her #1 priority should be when we come back and what I think this family dynamic should entail. We'll be right back. Do you believe me when I tell you this isn't real? And the best thing you can do is unplug.
So that's what I need to do. How?
Unplug.
How?
Just unplug. Change your number. Block him. Don't have any further contact with him whatsoever. You'd be astounded how fast he goes away. Are you going to grieve that relationship? Are you going to mourn that relationship? Yes, you are, of course. But you're surrounded by people that love you. And get a real relationship here with someone that you can touch and feel and share with. You have a lot to offer. You're going to grieve that. You're going to mourn that. I get that. But I would rather you do that now than have your life devastated later. And as I've said time and time again, the only thing worse than being in a bad relationship for a year is being in a bad relationship for a year and 1 day. Admit it now, deal with it now, and start putting the rest of your life together at this point.
What a dummy.
No, you're not a dummy. You're just someone that has a loving and caring heart. And the next old boy you start to date.
I don't want to date nobody.
No, the next old boy you start to date, call me.
Yeah, I will.
I kid you not.
I will.
I kid you not. Because you go on so much as a third date with somebody, you call Uncle Phil, we'll talk. And I'm serious about that, okay?
Thank you.
All right, fair enough.
Thank you so much.
All right, I want to thank my guests today for sharing their story. I hope all of y'all hear what's going on here. You have to be careful about what people are saying and doing on the internet. For more information about today's show, log on to drphil.com. We will see you next time. Thank you.